Shout out to Cameron Mason for the suggestion. Buster Dran is an insane all-out attacker. With the way it is designed regarding its weird shape, it's surprising that this thing can still spin in a circular shape. One of the first Beyblades out of this UX line, its main gimmick is one shot, one kill. The blade is intentionally designed to where all the weight is focused on the one protrusion on the blade. As a result, it causes an imbalance when it spins around the arena. With all the weight focused on one side, it makes this blade a strong knockout and burst blade, making the weight all crash down all at once. Kind of like what an actual Buster Sword is meant to do. Though the blade's greatest strength is also its greatest weakness. With its imbalance, it makes the blade very hard to control and occasionally will result in self-knockout. Buster Dran runs absolutely wild around the stadium, and it makes the blade continuously lose stamina super fast and needlessly. It also has the one hit one kill drawback where if it doesn't accomplish the one hit knockout it needs, it's going to be vulnerable and sleep out super quickly. It's why I said my favorite combo is 160 Rush, so I can get the stamina along with the extreme dashes that I need for the power. But regardless of its problems, Buster Dran is a Beyblade that a lot of people tend to use because of its very unique design. Myself included, I do really like Buster Dran, and I do wish to use it a lot more frequently. So I'm going to share a few combos that I personally like using with this blade. Now, as a reminder, these combos are not guaranteed to help you win your local tournaments. So some things I find good, you might not. So I encourage you to practice and experiment yourself to see what combos really fit you.
What wields a giant sword, but dizzies quickly across the board? Buster Dran!
For our first one, Buster Dran 260 low flat. Now, I'm not one to be a fan of 260 because of its tendency to be super burst prone. However, when it does work the way that it's supposed to, it's able to actually be a devastating ratchet. With the 260, you want to line up on the contact points on Dran Buster with a protrusion for maximum damage, and this actually might be a note that you will want to keep for the rest of the combos I'm showing you in this video. The ratchet is able to give Dran Buster a lot more weight onto protrusion for a devastating power move, and even on the back side in case the front doesn't land. Low flat to keep Dran Buster low and make it increase speed during attacks so that the force of the hit will be way harder. I like the powerful strike that this build can do and the absolute unpredictability of when the power strike will land. But do keep in mind there is still a bit of a risk of burst and it's very high, so Buster Dran will want to finish the opponent quickly before that happens. The 260 you can find easiest in the Cobalt Dragoon Deluxe set, and low flat bit you can find with a Kill Shark single. Next up, Buster Dran 160 flat. This combo really helps maintain a degree of control for Buster Dran while also getting both speed and power for its extreme dashes. The build focuses primarily on trying to get fast enough to where it will be able to knock out quickly or go wild fast to burst the opponent. And because it's flat, you aren't going to have to worry too much about it going out of control too much. The most effective strategy is to just flat launch it as best you can and let it travel along the extreme line naturally. 160 already comes with Buster Dran, and the flat bit you can find pretty easily, mainly the Sword Dran singles. It's like the most common bit to find in this game. If you can't find it, then I don't know where you're looking. Next, Buster Dran 360 Gear Point. This build surprisingly worked for me pretty well. The 360 and Gear Point add-ons were really to try and preserve as much stamina as I can. That was primarily the idea, but Gear Point actually allowed Buster Dran to extreme dash in a very weird way to where it was sent flying and managed to land a very powerful mid-air attack upon collision. With the 360, there is more protrusions around Dran Buster, so it's able to ratchet snipe sometimes when it ends up a bit tilted to where it ends up underneath the opposing Beyblade. This ended up being a solid, unpredictable attacker, though as usual, the threat of self-KO is still a factor to remember, so it does take a bit of practice to really get the blade under control. The 360 can be found practically anywhere, primarily the Sword Dran singles. Tusk Mammoth from the Stadium set has one, Bite Croc, Yelcon, yeah, this 360 is pretty much popular to print. Gear Point right now can only be found in the Sting Unicorn single. If you want to pull for it, Yellow Shinobi Shadow, and the prize Shelter Drake from Takuratami. Next, Buster Dran 770 Gear Flat. A very bulky build for Buster Dran where the idea is to give more weight around Buster Dran so that no matter what side it hits, it's able to knock the opponent around. But it ends up going absolutely nuts with the Gear Flat bit able to make it build up speed around the stadium before going in for the kill. Also, 770 ended up acting like a destabilizer for blades like Silver Wolf, and it's able to stay steady thanks to the Gear Flat bit being flat, so it does get spin finishes. The weight bulkiness really did it for me when the full amount of weight of impact just gets delivered all at once, especially if it's able to land a hit with the one protrusion. Even the smallest, most gentle hit that Buster Dran does just sends the opponent flying right into the pocket. The 770 can only be found right now in the custom set, and the easiest way to get a gear flat is the Soar Phoenix Deluxe pack. Or if you're on a budget and you can find it, the Roar Tyranno single. Next up, Buster Dran 160 Low Rush. This is practically the stock combo, only improved with stamina and control. While Excel allows full speed, constant extreme dashes, it shaves off the stamina quickly and there is no control for where Buster Dran goes. Low Rush is able to provide not only a low attack to ratchet snipe, but also consistent extreme dashes without the stamina disappearing. The build can still do the job of a powerful attack even at the slightest touch because of the weight focus on the protrusion, but also the Low Rush is able to let Buster Dran last longer in battle so that it can take multiple tries to get the knockdown. Low Rush right now, as at the time of this recording, can only be found with Impact Drake, which you can get as a starter set from Takeratami, and pretty soon you will be able to get it in Hasbro exclusively in a $60 arena set. Fun! Next, Buster Dran 160 Low Flat. Pretty much the same as the previous combo, but Low Flat enables Buster Dran to retain high speed at the cost of stamina. So if you really want the speed for full force attack while also keeping the low height, then this works just fine as well. Though because Low Flat takes up stamina to perform the extreme dash quickly, this will not last in the late game, so it's best to launch in a way to make sure you can finish the opponent quickly and with force. But when it does get the golden day, it's a pretty devastating combo when it gets super fast. Finally, this might be a little bit of a strange one, but it's 160 Vortex. This combo makes Buster Dran move a lot more wildly around the board while also retaining the characteristics of Rush, where it can extreme dash more frequently but also get more aggressively on the attack. Being aggressive and having Buster Dran go in for the kill immediately is what we want, especially when facing a very high stamina or defense blade. When Vortex takes over the movement, the blade becomes a little bit more controlled in its movements, but also builds up the momentum so that when it hits the opposing blade, it can be sent flying with a big hit. The knockaround that Buster Dran is able to do around the stadium is pretty cool and really can turn the battle in your favor. While Vortex doesn't have great stamina for later game, the mix of its aggressive movements and the shape of Dran Buster allows the blade to take advantage of the imbalance and land a very hard hit. Vortex right now can only be found with the new Brave Dran CX blade, so if you want the bit, you can also get a new Dran to add to your collection.
Oh, he came back out. Oh my god, can't win! Can't win! Can't win! Ah, so close.
Oh yeah, I sure enjoy chatting about combos with you guys. Let me know what you guys think and also what your personal combos for Buster Dran are in the comments down below. Support this channel by pressing the thumbs up and give us a subscribe for more awesome Beyblade content. I've been Haru Ren, and remember, keep being serious about having fun. Bye!